Like to welcome everyone to the regular meeting of the Industrial Development Authority on today, January 9th. Time is now 1:29. One-ish. So if we could have a roll call.
Sure. Director Fall, Director King,
Present.
Director Neal,
Present.
Director Seward,
Present.
Director Young,
Present.
Director Zarelli, and Chair Reed.
Here. Seeing that we have a quorum, first item of business is to approval of the minutes from November 14th, 2024. Any additions or corrections?
Mr. President, Director Young, I move that the minutes from our previous meeting be approved with any necessary corrections.
Is there a second?
I second.
Great. Roll call, please.
Director King,
Aye.
Director Neal,
Aye.
Director Seward,
Aye.
Director Young,
Aye.
and Chair Reed.
Aye. Item first is Resolution 25 IDA 1. This is the Marquette Homes for final approval. Michelle.
Thank you. Yes, as Chair Reed said, this is the final approval and the issuance resolution for multifamily housing revenue bonds for the Marquette Homes project. The bond amount is up to $17 million, and the funds will be used to finance the acquisition, rehabilitation, and construction of the Marquette Homes project, which is a scattered site redevelopment located in Gravois Park and Dutchtown neighborhoods in the city. The total project cost is approximately $26 million. There is additional public assistance listed on this cover memo. There has been a tax abatement approved at 10 years at 90% and 5 years at 50% for 15 years total. The developers are Rise Community Development, which is a Missouri nonprofit corporation, and Lutheran Development Group, a Missouri nonprofit corporation. Borrowers Marquette Home Partners Limited Partnership, and the property manager is Hayes Gibson Property Services. Bond counsel is Gilmore and Bell, and we have Lisa Russell joining us to represent them. These bonds will be privately placed with Alliance Bank or another bank to be identified by the developer. And as mentioned, it's a scattered site development with 40 multifamily housing units in 6 buildings with the addresses listed in the memo. There's also a vacant lot that's going to be used for parking. And then there's also sites for construction of 12 new multifamily housing units in 3 buildings that's currently on vacant land located at Compton and Ohio. 42 of the units will be 60% AMI and 10 will be 30% AMI. Rise and LDG are also partnering on this project with the VA Homeless Service Division, who has committed to assigning 10 project-based VASH vouchers to the project. This will be either through the allocation of new voucher awards for the fiscal year or through the conversion of existing vouchers. In turn, 10 units of service-enriched housing for veterans has been set aside. There's going to be 13 one-bedroom units, 22 bedroom units, and 19 three-bedroom units. And the resolution is attached for your consideration. And we have representatives of the developer joining us if there are any questions, as well as bond counsel.
Okay. Well, I did have a couple of questions. It's been a long time since I looked at this in person. What is the current occupancy of these scattered sites? They didn't appear like they were occupied a year ago. Would Lisa?
Well, Jess or Mark would be able to answer this question.
Oh, yes, I can answer that question. Yes, these are all unoccupied buildings. They've been vacant for quite some time. We've been working to close this development for a number of years. So yeah, they're all vacant and or being converted.
And if I could go on with a follow-up, that one property in particular, I think it's the one on Merrimack. It's actually a storefront. What's your current plan on 3305 Merrimack? Well, I think that's where Virginia runs into it. Would you know that?
Yeah, so it is. So it's about 700 square feet of retail space or street space for offices. This isn't definite. We're hoping that the VA may be able to use that space to provide services or use it for meeting with clients for counseling. But that space has not been leased. But yes, you are right. It's 10 units. That building is going to be 10 one-bedroom units. And then there's about 700 square feet of commercial retail there. And yeah, it's right at Virginia and Merrimack on the north side of the street.
Okay, and I don't remember from the preliminary hearing as to what would be your timeline for moving forward with this.
We intend to close in the next 30 days and start construction immediately thereafter, within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
And it's probably about an 18-month construction schedule.
Any questions from any of the board members?
Mr. President, just a couple of probably procedural. When was this initially received by this board? When was the initial request?
It was
It was in
before you-
23.
Yeah.
2023, okay.
Mhm.
And on the additional public assistance, this is a procedural question, not a political question. Can any of that money be pulled back? Or has it already been allocated?
You're referring to the loans?
Yeah, I'm referring to all of the additional public assistance, which was about $7 million.
I think I can speak to that if you'd like, Michelle.
More-
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah.
do.
So we have a firm commitment on all of our subordinate financing. So unless something catastrophic happened, like the deal wasn't able to close, that money is all secure. It's all available and will be brought forward at closing and then be used as needed over time.
Okay, thank you. And then one final question, and on the tax abatement, who actually votes for that tax abatement? Is it the Aldermanic Board, or is there another organization that votes?
This would have been through the LCRA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LCRA?
Yeah, so Director King, the LCRA board will approve the tax abatement, but the tax abatement goes through the Board of Aldermen for initial authority.
Thank you. No further questions.
No further. Any other members of the board? Would there be a motion to approve IDA Resolution 25-IDA1?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Director
Second.
Young,
And that was Vince. Was that
Yes,
Vince?
that was Young. Mhm.
All right, roll call, please.
Director Fall,
Yes.
Director King,
Aye.
Director Neal,
Aye.
Director Seward, Director Young,
aye.
Director Zarelli, you're muted, Director Zarelli.
Can you hear me now?
Yep,
All right, I am present and I'm an aye.
thank you. And Chair Reed.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you. Item next is number 25, IDA 2. Michelle.
Thank you. This project is Hickory Townhomes. This is the initial approval and the inducement resolution for multifamily housing revenue bonds. And the bond amount is up to $15 million that will be used to provide funds to purchase, construct, extend, and improve a 65-unit multifamily housing development. Total project cost is approximately $21.2 million. There is additional public assistance in the form of federal LIHTC credits. SLDC has received a letter of support from the alderwoman. The developer is Hickory Developer LLC, and the borrower will be Hickory Revitalization LLC. The Sandstone Group will be the property manager, and bond counsel is Gilmore and Bell. Waylon Watson, Bill Burns is joining us representing them. The bonds will be privately placed with Ready Capital and Midwest Regional Bank, or one or more other banks or financial institutions to be identified by the applicant. Hickory Revitalization is under contract to purchase Hickory Townhomes, which is a 65-unit multifamily affordable housing property serving low-income residents. It's located at 2622 Hickory Street. It's comprised of 14 buildings on approximately 2.6 acres. The townhouse style development consists of units ranging in size from 2, 3, and 4 bedrooms. It was originally constructed in 1980. The last major renovation occurred over 20 years ago, and the property no longer meets modern amenity standards. Following the renovations, the property will continue to serve low-income families earning less than 30% of AMI, which will be 10 units, and those earning less than 60% of AMI, which will be 55 units. Construction is expected to start early this year and last for a 12-month period. The work includes replacement of unit flooring with vinyl plank and new carpet, new stainless steel appliances, new quartz and granite countertops, new in-unit washer dryers, new roofs, repainting, new Energy Star rated windows, new energy efficient lights, replacement of bathroom and kitchen fixtures, new siding, new asphalt paving, sidewalks and fencing, security cameras throughout the property, updated landscaping, and a new playground. The development team for the Hickory Townhomes is also the developer for Lafayette Senior and Family Apartments. And a key part of the renovation plan for Hickory Townhomes is the shared access to the new community building located at the next door Lafayette Family Apartments. This community building will be constructed through the conversion of a central exterior space that currently contains a boarded up double wide trailer. This will be a significant improvement to the safety, appearance, and amenities of the neighborhood. New building will include new general property management office, business center with free Wi-Fi for the residents, and community space for services and activities. And the resolution is attached for your consideration. And we have a representative of the development here, as well as bond counsel, if there are any questions.
Now, exactly where is this? Is this over by the Grove District, or is this further in by Lafayette?
This is the Gate District,
Gate, okay.
I believe.
Yeah, it's Gate District right across Jefferson from Lafayette Square. So this property is right behind the Quick Trip at the corner of Jefferson and Shoto.
Is it particularly a historic trailer?
These are not historic buildings at all. This nor the Lafayette. I think some old buildings were raised back in the late 70s and replaced with these developments. So there is not much historic.
I see. It is so that area back there where Floral Row is that where?
Yeah, that's exactly where it is. Yeah.
Is that a historic district? Are they in a transition for that?
I have no idea. We're a block. We're not on Flower Row, so we're not on the street that the historic buildings are. We're one more block south on Hickory.
Director Fall?
Yes, is there, and maybe I'm missing it, but is there a contractor that's been secured for this work?
EM Harris Construction. Thank you.
When will you start? Don't mean to interrupt.
No problem. Hoping to start in April. Early April is the goal based off where we're at. We obviously this is first step with the bonds. We are into MHTC for the firm commitment. The project has been bid and priced, and we're working on financial due diligence with our lender and equity investors. So we are teed up to close here in short order.
Further questions from the board? Well, hearing none, would there be a motion to approve number 25 IDA 2?
This,
Director Young, I approve.
Director Zarelli will second.
Roll call, please.
Director Fall,
Yes.
Director King,
Aye.
Director Neal,
Aye.
Director Seward,
Aye.
Director Young,
Aye.
Director Zarelli,
Aye.
and Chair Reed.
Aye. Motion carries. Well, item next, Chris, do you have a report for us?
No, but I wanted to let you know that I'm doing work, so I thought I'd give you some type of report.
Good.
We didn't have any activity this month. You're not gonna see any change unless we do a bond issue, right? So we didn't do a bond issue. We had a little interest, but I wanted to give you an update for the year. We've closed 3 deals. The Foundry RPA 2, Ridgecrest, and St. Louis Science Center. Plus the interest that we earn, plus some application fees. So you've taken in about 129 in cash. You started the year just shy of 330. So the cash that we have a little over 460,000 in cash, which I know I've said this a few times recently, but that's in 35 years, that's probably the best position we've been in. We're in a positive on the fund balance. We actually have enough cash, right? You made a commitment in July of 250,000 to the St. Louis Development Corporation. So we have cash right now to pay that and still have well over 200 grand left. So really in good shape. Keep it up. There's just a little bad news, and that is the better we do, the more the St. Louis Development Corporation may expect from us to support their operation. But that's a good problem. All right?
It
Okay.
Took us a long time.
What's that?
When do we pay the 250?
We pay it when Charlie, the chief financial officer, asks me for it, but it'll usually comes toward the end of the fiscal year, April, May.
A follow-on question to that. I know you said that the better we do, the more they'll ask. I mean, is that just is it really that kind of subjective, right? I mean, or is there some sort of lock-in for, it's 250 for 3 years and we'll reassess at the 3rd year for the 4th, you know what I mean? Or is it just every year could be, this year could be 250, next year could be 300?
I didn't quite hear him.
Well, I think his question was, is it just sort of pull a number out of the hat? But there were times when we didn't have there wasn't any action at all.
Right.
And so the SLDC is a kind monarch to us.
Yeah. So it isn't pulling a number out of the hat. The St. Louis Development does a budget. And then based on our outside funding, then we look internally at the funding. And we do look internally at who has the ability to pay. Over the life of me being here, it's the Port Authority and the Land Clearance for Redevelopment Authority are the big carriers of the administrative. IDA for years and years has paid 30,000 was an amount that we were paying for 10 years. So although it may seem heavy as it's growing from 30 to 50 to 250, historically, we've gotten by, and maybe as things get better, we should put in a little bit more.
Is this, I guess, maybe to get to, and maybe I'm reading into Trustee Seward's question a little bit, and if I'm misstating it, please let me know. Am I hearing from you that there's like an accounting and an audit so that to make sure everybody's paying a pro rata? It sounds like that's what you're trying to say?
Yes. Did you say an audit?
Yeah, is this an audited amount so that everybody is paying the pro rata for usage to SLDC?
Paying
Or is it a budgeted amount? Or is it a budgeted amount, but then it's audited so that you're maybe paying in arrears that you used more than was audited? How is that, how has it come to?
Well, it's based on last year's activity and then any increases for this year. You come up with the number that is needed, look at the agencies that are funding, IDA being one of them, and agencies' ability to pay, and a number is decided on. But the need is based at St. Louis Development Corporation. It's not just say we need this money. We actually do a budget at St. Louis Development, and St. Louis Development says we need to fill this gap here, and the agencies within St. Louis Development fund that gap.
Okay, thank you.
If I could say that I think with as many of us that are new, a much more detailed explanation of how that number comes to by the time we have to vote on it again. And if that's to look at the SLDC's budget and figure out where we fit in, that may be something that we would like to do. Absolutely. And that is information that's presented at the St. Louis Development Corporation board meeting. So that is available, and it can obviously be brought down to this level.
Well,
Yeah, that'd be appreciated. Thank you.
Sure.
All right. Anything else for the good of the order?
That's it.
All right. Well, we have the next hearing on February 13th. At least it's not a Friday.
Right.
All right. Thanks for trudging through the weather, especially Michelle. She had to walk through the icy snow. Indeed. So is there a move to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I second.
Great. We stand adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.